Once you created an object is created in the database. Once the object is created in the database, how do you open the object? I want to insert a record. I want to update a record. I want to delete a record. How do you open the object? Object is created in the database. It is successfully saved. But now, if you want to perform operations on that object, how will you perform? So, if you want to open any one of the object, we need a tab. If you want the object to be accessed, if you want any operation to be performed on the object, if you want any operation to be performed on an object, we need a user interface. That user interface is called tab. Now let us see. When I click on this tab, corresponding object open. Once the object opened, now it is your choice what you want to do. I can create a record, I can modify a record, I can delete. It's my choice. Once the object is created, how you perform the operation is your choice. But if you want to open the object, we need an interface. That interface is called tab. Let us see how to create a tab. So what is a tab? Tab is a interface between user and application. What is a tab? Tab is a interface between user and application. The tab is used to open an object or a page or a site or a Visualforce component. Tab is used to invoke a page or an object or a site or a component. So let us see. Setup, build, create tabs. Setup, build, create tabs. Setup, build, create tabs. How many types of tabs you are seeing? Custom, object, tab. Custom, object, tab. Second one, web tabs. Visualforce tabs. Lightning page tab. Custom object tab, web tab, Visualforce tab, lightning page tab. Right. What is this custom object tab? When you click on the tab, object will open. What is this web tab? When you click on this tab, web page will open. What is that Visualforce tab? When you click on this, Visualforce page will open. Lightning page tab, when you click on this, lightning application will open. So what is a tab? Tab is a interface between user and application. In the application, it can be an object, it can be a web, it can be a Visualforce, it can be a lightning. I hope you are good. People are good with this? Okay. Now, let us start with the creation of custom object tab. Setup, build, create tabs. Build, create tabs. Custom object tab. What is that object? Now, look at this point here. Now, we have a database. Of your force.com. You have a database of your force.com. This force.com is belonging to one particular organization, ICICI organization. Now, whatever the tables you created on this, whatever the tables you created on this table belong to what? Whatever the tables you created on this, all this table belongs to same organization. Now we got application 1, application 2. We got application 1, this is application 1, application 2. For every table, only one tab will be created. For every table, only one tab. One object only, one object only, one tab. Let us assume we have multiple objects. Now, this is a loan application. This is a credit card application. So, in the loan application, they are giving employee tab, okay, payment tab. In the credit card, they are giving so a tab can be a part of multiple applications. Now, these two applications are built where? Same organization, Forge.com. Now, because this belongs to ICICI, the database belongs to ICICI. So, whatever the ICICI bank has got, the same data will be used in multiple applications. Boss, whatever the data I am saving here, all these data belongs to the same organization. So, the table remains the same, tab remains the same. This tab can be added to multiple applications. So, how many? One object will have only one tab. Same tab can be a part of multiple applications. So, if I say employee, this application is referring to the employee table. This is also referring to the employee table. Why? The data belongs to same company. So, on one object, how many tabs we can create? On one object, only one tab. One tab will be a part of multiple number of applications. I hope you are good with this. People are good. People are good with this. Any query from your end? Any query? So, what is this tab? Tab is a interface between user and application. Tab is an interface between user and application. On one object, only one tab can be created. Same tab can be a part of multiple applications. I hope you are good. Okay. Let us see how I am creating. Setup, build, create, then we have tabs. New custom object tab. Choose the object. What was that? Now we have tab visibility. On object, I have chosen a tab. On this object, I am creating this tab. There are three visibilities. Default on, default off, tab hidden. Default on means I can see the tab, and the tab is on panel. Now look at this. A lot of tabs are there. This is not the end. So look at this. These many tabs are there. But how many are visible here? Why? According to this application, only those tabs are required. According to the sales application, only these tabs are required. I am showing. If you want tab to be displayed on the tab panel, if you want tab to be displayed on the tab panel, I have to give it as default on. Does it mean only these tabs are available? No, many other tabs are also there. When you say default off, you can see it, but not on the panel. What should I do? Click on plus sign. It will show you list of tabs. Here you can see the tab. When you say default on, tab is visible here on the top. Default off means click on the plus sign, you can see the tabs here. Tab hidden means you cannot see it. So at the time of creating a tab, it is asking what type of visibility is this. Default on, everybody can see, default on, you can see the tab on the panel. Default off, you can see but not on the panel. Tab hidden, you cannot see it. Right. That's what we are doing. Right now I am giving default on because we don't know what is this. So I just give default on. Next. In which application we can create the tab you are creating? You want to add this tab in which application? Display this only in a loan management application. Display this only in a loan management application. Go to loan management tab. You are able to see customer. So what is the navigation again? Setup, build, create. Next. Visibility, default on. Next. Loan management tab. This is how we. Now in the Lightning, how do you create? This is the classic. Setup, build, create tab. Choose the object, visibility, show the application. In the Lightning, setup, so here it will be platform tools, user interface. The user interface, what you are finding here? Setup, platform tools, user interface. Then we have new. The procedure is same. There is no difference in the procedure. Only the navigation format is different. Otherwise, the procedure is. I hope you are good with this. This is how the tabs are created. Any other queries from your end? Anyone has any queries from this? Right. So why did I create a tab? Why did I create a tab? If you want to access the tab, if you want to access the object, we need. If you want to access the tab, if you want to access the tab, we need. If you want to access the object, we need a tab. Without creating a tab, we will not be able to access. Without creating the tab, we will not be able to access object. I hope you are clear with this format. So let us see the material. Okay. Now, the theoretical notes. It is not architecture, boss. I told objects, every object will have one tab. I told every object will have one tab. I told every object will have one tab. Within the tab, okay, I can add multiple tabs to a single application. I can add multiple tabs to a single application, or single tab can be added to multiple application. Object will be one, tab will be one. But the same tab I can use in multiple number of applications. That's what I am trying to tell you. Next we had what was the next point we had? Now, how do you create navigation? Setup, build, create tabs, new custom object tab. We have seen this. Setup, build, create tabs, new custom object tab. The same thing I am also giving in Lightroom. Setup, platform tools, user interface. Apart from this, complete navigation is same. Complete navigation is same. Next, the moment you create a tab, right, and if you add the tab to tab panel, you are going to get some extra points. What is it? If the tab is added, the data of this object I can search from global search. Second, create new. Look at this. We are getting customer. Quick creation. Create new shortcut also will be coming. Recent items. There are 3 features which are given to you if a tab is added to an application. Whenever a tab is added to an application, there are 3 functionalities what we are going to get by default. What are they? Global search, create new shortcut, recent items. Okay. How many tabs can be created on one object? One tab can be added to how many applications? Multiple applications. This is the critical information. I hope you are good. Right, boss? So, how many types of tabs we have? Custom object tab, visual force tab, web tab, lighting page tab. This is the structure what we have. Clear, boss? Everyone is good with this? Clear for everyone? Okay. Next, we have created a table. Once the table is created, we are supposed to discuss about the fields in the table. There's columns in the table. Now, let us start our discussion with the fields. At this level, anybody has any queries? At this level, anyone has any queries? Come again? Tabs? Tab color. When you click on this, what is the color you are getting? That's tab style. Now, let us get into the next concept. Fields. Look at this, boss. Right now, we created a table. What we had? So, you are calling them as columns. You are calling them as columns. I am calling them as fields. Columns, I am calling them as fields. Now, the point here is, understand the point. The point here is, in the table fields are there. Are these fields created by user or a Salesforce? Fields are nothing but a column. In the table, name is a column, phone is a column, city is a column, phone number is a column. You call it as a column, I call it as a field. In the Salesforce, we are calling column as a field. Okay. Now, how many types of fields are there? There are 2 types of fields are there. One is system field, the standard field. Second one is custom field. Standard field means anything that is created by Salesforce is called standard. Anything that was created by Salesforce is called standard. If you create, it is custom. So if any user create according to his organizational business requirement, according to your company business requirement, if you create, it is called custom field. Standard field and custom field. Now look at the point. There are two types of standard fields. Standard fields are created by Salesforce. In the standard fields are also there are two types. One is standard field, another one is system field. Standard fields are again classified into standard fields and system field. What was the difference here? Now let me give you an example. Account. Who created this field? Salesforce created. Salesforce created all this field. But who is going to enter this data? User is going to. Fields are created by Salesforce only, but data was going to be entered by user. But some of the fields are here. This data is entered by the Salesforce only. Now let us see. This data is last modified by, created by, right? This type of data is provided by whom? Salesforce. So fields are created by the Salesforce, but data is created by whom? Fields are created by Salesforce, data is entered by the user, standard fields. In the standard fields, some of the fields data is entered by, some of the fields data is entered by, some of the fields data is entered by system itself. Salesforce itself will enter the data. Then it is called system field. It means fields created by Salesforce, data is also entered by the Salesforce. Salesforce only created the field, Salesforce only providing the data. You can only use it, you cannot modify it. Such type of fields are called system fields. Right. Standard fields created by the Salesforce, data is entered by the user. Some of the standard fields are also called system fields. Why they are called system fields? Because the data is also entered by the Salesforce. I hope you are good with this. People have followed this. Clear? Okay. So what do you mean by standard fields? Fields which are created by the Salesforce are called standard fields, and their data is also entered by Salesforce. That is called system field. You create your own field, you enter your own field. That is called custom field. You create, you enter. It is called custom field. I hope you are good. Clear? Everyone has followed this, right? Now try to understand. Now we'll start with the first, some of the system. Why the system fields? Because they are created by Salesforce, data is also entered by the Salesforce. First one we'll start with ID. First one is what? ID. What is this ID? Look at this. Now if I open this record in the table, if I create one record, Salesforce will create what? Look at this. Salesforce has created ID. Salesforce has created ID. What is this ID? How many character ID is this? How many character? 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. 15 character. For every record in the table, if I create any record in the table, let me give you. Now I am trying to save the data. When I click on the save, this record will be saved to database. Once the record is saved to database, Salesforce will create some ID. How many character ID? 15 character ID. Every record we save, if you are saving any record, 15 character ID will be created. So automatically adds the name. So any record that is saved to database, any record that is saved to database, the Salesforce will create 15 character ID. Based on that ID, we will recognize the record. The Salesforce, in the complete Salesforce database, how somebody will identify your record? Based on this ID. So this ID will run like a primary key for you. This ID will work like a primary key. Every record you create in database, every record you create in the database, Salesforce will create 15 character unique ID. Based on this ID, Salesforce will recognize your record. Now, this 15 character is case sensitive. Small should be small, capital should be capital. To remove this case sensitive, Salesforce has added 3 more extra characters and made it as 18 character. So what is the difference between these two? Actually, when a record is created, how many character ID is created? 15 character ID. It is a case sensitive. To avoid this case sensitive, we can, 3 more characters are added and they are displayed like a 18 character. So actually how many ID? Only one ID, that is visible as 15, visible as 18. 18 means case insensitive, 15 means case sensitive. I hope you are good. Right. In this 18 character ID also, first 3 characters is about what? Object. 001 means account object. Last 4 characters will speak about what? Record. First 3 about your object. Next 2 your organization. Next 2 will be about your organization. Then last 4 is about your record. So first 3, last 4. This object, this record. I hope you are good. So what is this ID? Salesforce by default creates 15 character ID for every record. Based on this ID, Salesforce will recognize the record. To remove the case sensitive, 3 more characters are added and that was made as 18 character. I hope you are good. I hope everyone is good with this. And this is also called as primary. This is also called as primary. So your record is recognized based on ID. This is the data. Now, record is recognized based on your ID. Now, what I am doing, I deleted this record box. I deleted this record. I deleted this record. When you deleted this record, right, the complete record is deleted. Later on, with the same data, you recreate it. The same data you recreate it. But what will happen? ID will not be saved. ID will not be saved. Now ID has to be saved, then only it is called we got the record back. When you delete, record is deleted. I may create one more record with the same data. I may create Sham 1111 Hyderabad, but ID will not be saved. The moment I create a new record, what will happen? New ID will be generated. So if you create again, you may get the same data, but ID is not saved. When ID is not saved, there are a lot of issues. Are you getting my point? So when you delete the record, still I want the record to be in database only. Why? So that ID will still remain. When you delete the record is not permanently deleted. When you delete the record is not permanently deleted. Still, record is in the table only. But how do I recognize it's a deleted record? How do you recognize it's a deleted record? Right. Now we have is. When a record is deleted, the value of is deleted is kept as. The value of is deleted is kept as 2. If you delete, the value of this field is 2. If it is true, don't use this data in your business logic. It is a deleted record. When you delete a record, value of this field is kept as true. Still, where is the record? In the table only. When you delete the record, still the record will be in the table, and the value of this field is kept as 2. How long it will be in table? For 15 days. After 15 days, what will happen? Permanently deleted from the table. So during these 15 days, if you feel you have deleted the record by mistake, you can undelete it. So when you delete a record, still the record is in the database for 15 days. But to recognize that it was a deleted record, we had a field called is deleted. It is a Boolean field. When the record was deleted, value of the field is kept as true. When it is deleted, value of the field is kept as true. I hope you are good with this. How long the field will be? 15 days. For 15 days, the field will be in database. I hope you are good with this. Now, if you delete, in the recycle bin, they will be displayed. In the recycle bin, we will have a recycle bin. In the recycle bin, record will be displayed. But record is, where it is? It is still in the table only. It will be displayed in the recycle bin. Because if you want to undelete, I should know from where you have to undelete. So, once again, any record deleted from the database still remains in the same table for next 15 days. After 15 days, record will be deleted permanently. During that 15 days, how do I know it was a deleted record? The value of is deleted is kept as true. Right, boss? So, what is the second field we have? Is third one. Created in it. This will tell you date and time when the record was. It will tell date and time when the record was created. It will tell date and time when the record was created. Date and time when the record was created. Last modified date. What do you mean by last modified date? What do you mean by last modified date? Date and time the record was. Date and time when the record was modified. Last modified date. Date and time when the record was modified by user. The problem here is last modified date means now in how many ways the record value can be modified? In the table, system can modify the value. You have some program at the back end. Using a program, system is modifying the value. Second one, I can open the record, I can modify it. Now, I went to the record, I am modifying this value. This is manually modifying the value. What is the other way of modifying? The same record, I can also modify. Now, I modified the same record. How did I modify? Programmatically. So record value can be modified programmatically, or I can open the record and modify. Now, last modified date means when did you open the record and modify? Date and time when the record was opened and modified. It will only store date and time when the record was manually modified. That means you opened the record, you modified the value. Date and time when the record was manually modified, which is called last modified date. The next we have system mod step. Date and time record was modified. Date and time when the record was modified. So what was that? Date and time when the record was modified. It will store the date and time when the record was modified manually or programmatically. So when was the record finally modified? It can be manually or programmatically. So difference between last modified date and system mod stamp. Last modified date means date and time when the record was modified manually. System mod stamp means date and time when the record was modified manually or programmatically. I hope you are good with this. Okay.
Hi, Satish.
Yes.
So, can you please repeat the difference between the last modified date and the system modified stamp? I'm not getting it clearly, actually.
See, a record can be modified in how many ways? One is manually means I open the record, I am modifying
Yes.
it. This is manually modified. Same record can be modified programmatically also.
Yes.
Modifying programmatically. Now, if you go to the record and modify, it will be saved in last modified date. Date and time when the record was manually modified. System mod stamp means date and time when the record was modified. When the record was modified means it can be manually or programmatically. Finally, when the record was modified, that is a
Longer.
mod stamp. Okay. Last modified date means only when did you modify manually? When the record was lastly modified manually. I hope you're good. Okay. Next one we have. Let us go to the next one. Now, in the company, user will log in. User is nothing but your employee. User is nothing but your employee. What is that employee? Last name. These are the employees. Every user you create will have what? ID. We are creating, all the employees will be stored to one table. User, we call him as user. He is the employee who will log in, who will work. Now, who is the employee who created this record? When a record is created, who is the employee who created? Now I logged in. Now I logged in. I am creating a record. Who is this user who created? ID of that user. For every user also, there will be 15 character ID. Every user also will have 15 character ID. Every user will also have 15 character ID. Every user will have 15 character ID, which is also referred with 18 characters. Now, ID of the user who created this record, his ID will be saved as created by ID. What will be saved in the created by ID? ID, 18 character ID. Then last modified by ID. ID of the user who modified the record last. Now, user who modified this record, his ID will be stored. User who created this record, his ID will be saved. So finally, what we have? ID is deleted, created date, last modified date, system mod stamp, created by ID, last modified by ID. These 7 fields are called as system fields. Why you are calling them as system fields? They are created by the Salesforce. Their values are also managed by Salesforce. Now, every standard field, some of the standard fields are called as system field. Some of the standard fields are called as system fields. Some of the standard fields are called as system fields. Some of the standard fields are called as system fields. Let me give you this. Let me give you critical information. Let me modify this. Fields are nothing but columns in the regular database. There are 2 types of fields. So we have standard fields. What are standard fields? These are the fields created by the Salesforce, but can be updated by the user. The fields which are created by the user are called standard fields. Look at the point. Fields which are, these are the fields created by the Salesforce. If you didn't understand, ask the question. Don't break the chairs. These fields are created by Salesforce. These fields are created by the Salesforce. Values can be entered by method, user or system. Values can be entered by the user or system. If user enter the value, if system auto generate the value, then they are called in the record. What are the system fields? These are the standard fields which are created by the Salesforce and updated by the data is also created and updated by the user. Right. There are 7 types of fields. Just now we have seen all the 7 types of fields. There are 7 types of system fields. What are they? ID, age related. Let us check it out one by one. First one, ID. Please mute your mic. Second, Bora, mute your mic. ID. Salesforce by default create 15 character ID, unique ID for every record. Based on this ID only, Salesforce will recognize. Let me modify. Salesforce by default creates 15 character unique ID for every record. This ID will be three more characters are added. Make it right. This ID is also called as primary. First 4 characters, first 3 characters. Last 4 characters represent. So this is the basic ID. What was the next one we had? Is deleted. Whenever we delete any record, the value of, I can modify this. What is the purpose? Is deleted. It is a Boolean value. This is a Boolean field. Value of this field is set as true when the record was deleted. When a record is deleted, still deleted record will be in the object for 15 days. After 15 days, record was deleted. Record will be deleted permanently. Next, created by. What is that created by? This field will store 18 character ID of the user who created this record. Last modified by ID. This will store ID of the user who modified the record last. Then created date. This field will store date and time when the record was created. Last modified date. This will store date and time when the record was modified manually. System mod stamp, date and time when the record was modified lastly manually or automatically. I hope you are good with this. People are good with this example. Now let us take the next. Let us go to the next one. Now, some of these fields are also called, some of the system fields are also called system audit fields. Standard fields, in that some of the fields are called system fields. Some of the system fields are also called audit fields. What are they? Created by ID, last modified by ID, created date, last modified date, system mod stamp. These are the 5 fields which are also called system audit fields. So, system fields, system audit fields, all of them are part of what? All of them are part of what? Standard fields. Any field created by the Salesforce are called standard fields. If the values are entered by the user, no issue, it is standard field. If the value is created by the system itself, that is called system field. Some of the system fields are also called as audit. Audit means what? Who created, when it created, who modified, when it is modified, it is called audit. So 5 of the fields are called audit fields. I hope you are good with these examples.
Hello.
Any query on this?
Hello,
Yes.
actually, why it is is deleted record? Why it is giving 15 days of time?
See boss, I have 1 million records. You deleted 1 million records. So if every record you delete, if you save in database, what will be the size of your database? What will be the time for processing your database? You are giving an option here, boss. When you delete a record, it should be deleted permanently. But if there is a possibility that you may need the record again, that is the reason they gave a time frame of 15 days. Now if you ask why 15 days, it's Salesforce limitation. The Salesforce limitation. You are using your message. Why only 200 messages are saved in your mobile? Why don't they save 400 messages? There is a limit what they have provided, right? So they are giving an option, boss. If you delete anything, I will save it in my database for 50 days. Then I will be deleting permanently. No, boss. Everything I delete, it should be there in database. So what do you do? Create one more table. Once you delete, take this record and put in the table. Right. Salesforce has given a limitation of 15 days. You want to store more than the 15 days? Look for the solution. Right, boss? Okay. I hope you are good with this. So, what is the fields? Fields are nothing but columns. Just started with the standard fields. These are the fields created by the Salesforce. Values can be entered by the user or system. If system auto generates the value, if the system auto generates the value, then fields are called system fields. Now what are they? ID, age deleted, created by ID, last modified by ID, then created date, last modified date, we had system mod stamp. Okay. Now some of the fields are also called as audit fields. As per the certification, they will be helpful to you. Okay. Next one, what is the next story we had? Custom fields. So what are custom fields? Fields which are created by the user. The fields which are created by the user are called custom fields. Fields which are created by the user are called custom fields. Right. Next, the fields which are created. The fields which are created by the Salesforce are called system fields. Fields which are created by the user are called custom fields. When you want to create your own fields, they are called custom fields. They are called custom fields. When you want to create your own fields, they are called custom fields. But the point here is, what type of data is stored in that field? You are creating your own fields. In that field, what are you trying to store? Is it a text? Is it a date? Is it a boolean? What type of data is stored? So if you want to tell what type of data is stored, we need to tell about data types. Now look at the point. So if you are creating a custom field, we need to understand what are the data types of the field. So every field will have a data type. What type of data are you storing? What type of data you are storing? So we have to specify data type. What is the first data type we have? Text. Text means you can enter alphanumeric data. What is the maximum length you can enter? 255 characters. And the complete data should be in a single line. Now if I am going for an address, address will be in what? Multiple lines. If I am going to enter address will be in what? Multiple lines. So what I require? Boss, I want alphanumeric only, but data should be in multiple lines. I want alphanumeric only, but data should be in multiple lines. So what we give? Text area. What we give? Text area. So what was the text area? It is alphanumeric, 255 characters, multi-line. Alphanumeric, 255 characters, multiple line. If you want to enter more than 255 characters, then I'll go for text area long. Text 255 characters in a single line. Text area 255 characters in a multiple line. Text area long, more than 255 characters. Default is 32,768, maximum is 1,31,000. Text area rich. Text area rich means what? It is a text only. But if you open a Word document, now text area rich means what? Look at this. What we are able to do? We are going to format the data. We are formatting the data. What are we doing? We are formatting the data. We have this option to format the data. This is called as what? Text area rich. I can add a watermark, I can add an image, I can add a screen, I can add a multiple things. This for type of data is called text area rich. Formatted data. What the people call it as? Formatted data. We can align it, we can number it, we can add a watermark. So whatever the email structure you are getting, it's called formatted data. Notepad is text data. Word document is formatted data. In the Notepad, you will not get that option. Like align, numbering, you don't get. But whereas in the Word document, you get that aligns. So whatever we are creating in the Word document, that style is what? It's called formatted data. It is called as what? Formatted data. Text area rich. Generally, if you want to upload any images, we'll use this. So what is the data we had? Text area rich. So what we had was, text means what? Alphanumeric data, maximum 255 characters in a single line. Text area means alphanumeric 255 characters in a multiple line. More than 255 if you want, text area long. If you want to format the data, align left, align right, all this story, it is a text area rich. People followed? All these four are what? Data types. Next, phone number. If you want to store the phone number, right? Phone number, there is a specific format. We can give the data type as phone number. Checkbox. Checkbox is for what? True or false. This will store what? True or false. Currency. When I enter 10,000, I have to get rupees 10,000. So you want that rupee symbol to be added, or dollar 10,000. That's why data type is what? Currency. Currency data type is to store currency value. What is the maximum length of the currency? 18 digits. What is the maximum length? 18 digits. 18 digits includes what? Integer plus decimal. Integer plus decimal. I give 32,020. Integer part is 5, decimal part is 2. Total length is 7. So combination of both together, maximum 18 characters. What is the maximum length of the currency I can enter? 18 characters, which includes length of integer plus length of decimal. Now you want to store date. Particular date I want to store 10, 12, 1999. Then we go for date. Date time, it is for what? Date along with the time. Date along with the time. Number, if you want to store any decimal value, integer value, if you want to store any numerical value, numerical means it can be integer, it can be decimal. If you want to store any numerical value, any decimal value, then we go for number. Any numerical value, any decimal value, we can go with the number. Number is what? Any numerical or decimal. Then we had percent. It will add percentage symbol. When I say percent, it will add percentage symbol. When I say percent, it will add percentage symbol. Percentage for what? Adding percentage symbol. Percent, it is for adding percentage symbol. Number, numerical value. Number, numerical value. Percent, percentage value. Email. Now if you want to store any email address, we have a data type called email. So what we have, boss? The name itself say what they are. Text means alphabets and numbers combination. Maximum 255 in a single line. Text area means alphanumericals in a maximum 255 multiple lines like address. Text area long. I want to give description. I want to give remarks. I want to give comments. There is a possibility that you may write more than 255. It is a text area long. You want to align the data. Text area rich. Phone numbers. Checkbox, true or false. Currency value. When I enter the data, it should add rupees 10,000, dollar 10,000. Date, any date value. Date and time, date along with the time. Number, any numerical value if you want to store, number. Percent, for storing the percentage values. Email, for storing the email. So what is the maximum length of number or percent or currency? 18, which includes integer and decimal. I hope you are good with this. People are good with this. Any query on that? Okay. Now people are going with the next one, pick list. What was that pick list? What was that pick list? Let us see. I hope people are good with whatever we have seen till now. Everyone is good with that, right? Clear for everyone.
Satish, what about the date format? Means date and time format. How many characters will be stored in date and time format?
Date and time, the standard system mod stamp will be stored. The system mod stamp format.
Okay.
It is a fixed format for it. Now, any date and time you take, standard formats will come. You want to customize it according to your choice, you need to apply custom logic. Irrespective of technology, if you go with the date and time, standard formats will come. Now you are applying extra logic to modify as per your requirement. But standard format is going to be always the standard. Now, what was that pick list, boss? Now I give this. Pick list is nothing but drop down list. It is a drop down list. Pick list is nothing but drop down list. Now first question, in the drop down list, how many options you can enter? I give only 4 options. Maximum how many you can enter? 1000 you can enter. How many options you can give? 1000 options. Out of 1000 option, how many you can select? 1 option. Okay. Now, what is the maximum length of each option? Here I give my length as 3. Here I give length as 3. I give length as 3. What is the maximum length? What is the maximum length? What is the maximum length? Maximum length is
255.
Okay. So maximum I can go with the 255. Maximum 255 characters. Total number of options are 1000. Maximum length is 255 characters. All the options together. All the options together. Now what is the length I give? 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus. I give 13 characters I give. Maximum all of them together. $15,000 characters. All the options together, 15,000 characters. So number of options are 1000. Each option is 255, and all of them together 15,000 characters. At max, how many options I can give? 1000. How many options I can select? 1 option. Can we sort these values? If you want, you can sort the values also. Bangalore, Chennai. If you want, you can sort the values. By default, what is the value we are getting here? None. I don't want none. By default, I want Hyderabad to be selected. So, what is the default value? I don't want none to be a default. I want to choose particular value as a default value. I can choose Hyderabad or Bangalore. Pick list means drop down list. I can enter 1000 option, out of which 1 can be selected. Length of all together 15,000 characters. Every option is 255 characters. I hope you are good. Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Right. Let us go to the next one. I have multi-select. What do you mean by multi-select? What do you mean by multi-select? I want to select more than 1 option. Right now you gave only 1 option. What if you want to select more than 1 option? Look at this. I have we have multiple options. I selected more than 1. If you want to select more than 1 option, I'll go for multi-select list. If you want to select more than 1 option, I'll go for multi-select list. If you want to select more than 1 option, I'll go for multi-select list. Multi-select list. How many options I can give? Maximum 150. Maximum how many? 150. Out of 150, how many we can select? Out of 150, maximum how many we can select? Maximum 150 options we can select. Out of 150, 100 options we can select. So more than 1 option can be selected, maximum 100 option. What is the length of each option? 40. Length of each option is 40. All together, so we have seen pick list and multi-cell. Quick list is what? Drop down list from where we can select one option. Multi means we have choose more than one option. Okay, we'll see the execution part in the next session. Right. So just I covered that data types. We'll see the execution in the next session. Any query from your end?
Sir, Srinivas here.
Yeah, Srinivas, go ahead.
For admin at the 315.com,